So this week in conference, we are just finishing celebrating our anniversary. So again, happy anniversary to everybody in your yoga practice. It was a beautiful anniversary party. So nice. Feel so blessed going into this new year with all of you. Back to our studies on our book, The Heart of Yoga by DKV Deskachar. We are on chapter 3. Chapter 3 is about what? Anyone reading chapter 3 with me?
Asana.
Asanas, yes. So what is an asana? Sometimes people say asana. I think of sanas then. What's an asana? Leslie knows. A pose, a posture. The literal translation, though, means to sit or to still. Right? So Pattabhi Jois always said to us that there are 8 limbs, Patanjali's 8 limbs of yoga, and which one do we begin with, according to Pattabhi Jois? Asana. He's always like, we enter into this practice into understanding all 8 limbs through asana. And it makes sense, because we have to learn how to sit, both with our physical body and what else. There are 3 aspects to yoga. In the beginning of this chapter, he says we have to know that it's not just reading, it's not just meditating. It's yoga. So it means 3 things. We have 3 practices that define this and make this different from anything else. Walking on the beach, running, riding our bikes, just sitting and meditating. These 3 aspects are what? I'm going to say, just so you guys remember, I like to do like little acronyms. BBM. These are the same bodies that Guruji talks about. What's BBM? What are the 3 practices of yoga? Body.
Breath.
Breath. Yes. Good job, Peter. Body, breath, and mind are the 3 aspects that make this asana practice. This makes up our asana practice, right? Our physical posture practice is body, but it's also a breath practice. And without it, Guruji said, we're just doing gymnastics if we don't have the breath. But also, if we're not doing a mindful practice, a meditation practice, it's not yoga either. So within this understanding of posturing, asanas, our physical practice, we would say that there are 2 aspects of postures to asanas. Very simply, we study this all the time at the Shala. What are the 2 aspects of postures of asanas? Sthira and Sukham, very nice. Yes, so what is Sthira and Sukham? Just basically, let's just get a basic overview first. What are those 2 things? Sthira, let's start with Sthira. What's Sthira? Strength? Define it more. Strength, steadiness, grounding, rooting, focus, sharpness, power. I even said it like power, right? What's Sukham? Comfort. Ease, lightness, fluidity, being a little silly, right? Joy, a little lightness, a little airy, all that. So it's kind of like, if you think of it like this, it's the yin and yang of our practice. Everything in our practice has to hold both aspects. So let's look at body, breath, and mind. Body, breath, mind. How is, and I just want to take a look at chaturanga. We've been studying chaturangas and up dogs the last couple weeks, so we can use those 2 as examples. Let's look at the physical body. How are we sthira sukham in the practice in our bodies? Just look at chaturanga. Chaturanga is basically, we could say, like a sthira pose, right? It's a strength pose, and also you're trying to focus the mind and hold the mind as you're in chaturanga. It's about being powerful in your practice. You know, it's about being focused and articulating your practice as sthira. So I'm not just waving my arms around and jumping floppy into chaturanga. It's boom, it's strong, it's accurate, it's focused. Sthira, yeah? What about, let's look at, for Sukham, let's look at up dog. Where is up dog Sukham? Yeah, so remember we talked about the other week how we have to release our glute muscles? You know, we have to soften the glute muscles to really lengthen the psoas muscles, how we have to breathe and open into the chest and drop the shoulders down. What if we were doing up dog like this? How's that up dog? How's this an up dog? This is up dog. It's opening, it's soft. We move into it from chaturanga with fluidity, with lightness. Yeah? So just those two together are paired up back to back, which gives us that nice feeling of strength and fluidity, right? But in and of themselves, each pose has that balance in itself. So how on earth would our chaturanga have sukham in it? How would it also be soft? Yes, the breath. So what is the breath in chaturanga? Exhale. I know Leslie knows this. What is the nervous system, the parasympathetic or the sympathetic nervous system? Parasympathetic. Right, so that means I'm exhaling, you guys, and I'm supposed to be dropping into Zen. I'm supposed to be like relaxed, at ease, right? Like, no problem. So if the teacher who's leading the class makes a long chaturanga, I'm not like, oh, I'm at ease. I'm exhaling. I'm fully present. I'm relaxed, even though I'm strong. That's chaturanga. That's sthira sukham. What about up dog? That's fluid, it's open, it's light, it's heart opening. How is it sthira? Pushing down through the arms are strong and solid. The legs are solid. Yeah? What are we doing? We're inhaling some power, some energy, some passion. So every single pose that we do today, I want you guys to think of every single pose you do, you have to find that ingredients, that balance, where you're going to be in both, how you hold both in everything that you do. And maybe when you're a little out of whack or having trouble in one pose, you find where you need to kind of pull it in a little bit and a little bit more strength, right? Oh no, a little bit more lightness, let go a little bit more. What about breath? Same breath, sthira sukham. I see sometimes people breathing in their yoga practice like this. What's that? Wrong, right? It's just wrong. But some people use their breath and they're too much sthira. It's too much power, too much power, too much power. Do you ever go out there and someone that kind of knows yoga and they say like to you like, hey, I do yoga too. Yeah, what kind of yoga do you do? And you say, Ashtanga, and they go, oh, Ashtanga, that's really hard. You guys are really crazy. Because we have a reputation for being sthira, right? Boom, boom, hard, try, effort. But it's both. It's yin and yang. It's fluidity. It's lightness. It's beautiful, right? So we're trying to find that in the breath. When Brian McKenzie was here last time doing his workshop, he said sometimes he notices, and I even notice this when I see people doing the Wim Hof breath, they're going like this. And then when they hold the breath, it's like this. And Brian was like, it's supposed to be relaxing. You know, we're supposed to relax into the breath. Same in the practice. This sthira, it's a powerful ujjayi breath, but it's also a fluid breath. It has a light quality to it that brings us to our lightness. So the perfect ujjayi breath really holds those two so beautifully. It's powerful, it's light. Yeah? Let's go to the mind. We'll finish off with the mind today. So how is the mind in our yoga practice? What is the aspects of that? Start with sthira. How is the mind sthira in your asana practice? We have vinyasa partially for sthira, to focus, to be sharp. We have the drishti, we have the breath that holds the mind so we're not all over the place, right? Our mind isn't running all over the place. What about sukham? Yeah, so we don't want to take ourselves too seriously in our yoga practice. We want to be open. We want to surrender into it. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Ishvani Brahmanadana, like surrendering to the practice a little bit, letting go. Being fluid and light in your practice. The way we jump back is strong and articulate, but it has this light quality, and the mind is the same way. Everything that we do in it. So I just want to finish by asking you guys to consider that everything we do on our mat is simply a practice for us to live our lives that way. So Sthira Sukham is really this perfect way for us to think of how we live our lives and being powerful in our lives, being strong in our lives, being focused and grounded in our lives, and at the same time, being a little bit light in the way we do life, being a little bit silly, being a little bit fluid in the way we approach everything. So I'm asking you this week to think of where in your yoga practice you need to change up the ingredients a little more lightness, a little more strength, but also think of something in your life, maybe something that's your challenge right now. Maybe it's like a lifelong challenge. Maybe it's relationship. Maybe it's money, the energy of money, you know, or maybe it's something in particular right now, like at work or in a relationship where you're right now having a challenge. And I just want you to think about it from that philosophy of Sthira Sukham, how you approach things, how you're looking at your challenge. And just see, like, where can you bring, do you need a little bit more strength and power in this? Or maybe do you need to back off a little bit and surrender a little bit, be lighter, and kind of try to approach this situation in your life from your yoga philosophy a little bit. And we end with our quotes for this week. I brought 2 quotes for you this week. The first one's your Sthira quote by Mahatma Gandhi. Strength does not come from physical capacity, it comes from indomitable will. The second one, our sukha, is from Alan Cohen. You will find truth more quickly through delight than gravity. Let out a little more string on your kite. I chose both of these quotes for this week for your inspirations as we study Sthira and Sukha. In yoga, as in life, it is important to know when to use our indomitable will and when to let out more string on your kite.